Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we have pulled a really a unique set of sources.
Yes, these are excerpts from a reflective text. It's called The Architecture of Small Beginnings.
And we're looking specifically at its analysis of the philosophy of quiet progress. So our mission is to take this philosophical stance, which, favors quiet consistency over dramatic breakthroughs.
Which is so rare these days.
It is. And we want to figure out how it applies directly to you, the learner who is looking to build lasting knowledge and strength.
What's so fascinating to me about this material is how it directly challenges the modern pursuit of the immediate.
Right, the instant gratification.
Exactly. We're digging into an approach that suggests true, durable success is built away from the spotlight. It's all about finding and, amplifying the value in efforts that are so small that most people just dismiss them.
And the source material just lays down the gauntlet immediately. I love this line.
Oh, it's a great one.
It says, "Big dreams do not begin loudly. They begin quietly with small efforts that most people overlook."
That perspective is just so counterintuitive in our current media landscape.
Completely. So we really need to unpack this idea. I think we should start with the central figure in the narrative, Anvika, and her core philosophy.
Right. Anvika is the architect of this whole system. She operates from a baseline belief that just fundamentally rejects the idea of the lucky break.
Or the sudden transformation.
Precisely. The text really emphasizes that she never believed progress was instantaneous. And that right there, that's a key psychological firewall against burnout.
But holding on to that belief must be incredibly difficult, especially when you see people getting massive public recognition and it feels like it happened overnight.
Of course.
Doesn't that risk making your own progress feel, perpetually slow? Or even insignificant?
Well, that's where the definition of respecting small beginnings comes in. The source argues that meaningful, sustainable change, by its very nature, it has to be slow. It's built through what the text calls small and consistent efforts. And the mechanism here is critical. It's the accumulation, the repetition that generates structural integrity. It's not about the size of any one individual effort.
So it's like a geometry problem, not a speed race.
That's a great way to put it.
I see that analogy. So while everyone else is waiting for that one massive opportunity, the dramatic breakthrough, the big investment, the eureka moment,
Anvika is focused on daily accretion.
she's not hunting for the ripe fruit. She's making sure the soil quality improves every single day. That sounds exhausting, though, unless you define that daily effort very, very specifically.
Exactly. And you have to.
Yeah.
If the effort is abstract, consistency fails. You absolutely need a metric.
And this is where we get to the core of her system.
It is. It's this shift in focus from the external outcome, the applause, the wealth, to the internal process, the quality of the effort itself.
This is where the source provides those wonderfully precise, almost clinical metrics that she valued. I love that the text moves past the general advice of just work hard.
Yeah, that's useless advice on its own.
It is. It specifies what hard work actually looks like on a micro level. It's not about logging 18-hour days. It's about 3 focused, non-abstract units of effort.
She didn't measure her success by volume. She measured it by precision and mastery. The source lists them so clearly.
Let's go through them.
Okay, so first, 1 focused hour of study.
1 hour, that's it.
Then, 1 concept understood clearly, and perhaps most profoundly. The third one is 1 mistake corrected.
I really want to spend a moment on that third point, correcting 1 mistake. It implies that failure isn't just something to be accepted.
No, it's an asset.
It's immediately converted into a valuable foundational asset. How does dedicating your energy to a single correction translate into that kind of long-term strength?
This is where we get into the mechanism of resilience. When you identify and correct a single mistake, and I mean not just masking it or moving on, but truly understanding why it happened,
You're creating a feedback loop.
you are creating what behavioral scientists call a positive feedback loop of competence. You're essentially building an immunity against future similar errors.
So if I spend an hour on a focused concept, I'm building knowledge. But if I spend an hour correcting a mistake, I'm building structural strength in that knowledge.
That's the distinction, exactly. The source's explicit connection is that small improvements, repeated consistently, created lasting strength.
The numbers on that are staggering if you think about it.
Think about it. If you correct 1 mistake every single day for a year, you have addressed 365 specific weaknesses in your foundation.
Right.
That knowledge base is now inherently sounder, it's slower to erode, and it's more integrated into your cognitive framework than, say, the person who just rushes through 365 lessons, accumulating 365 unaddressed flaws.
That structural resilience becomes the real payoff of the consistency. The strength isn't just superficial, it's baked right into the foundation.
Yes, it removes the need for that constant panicked effort later on because the system itself is robust.
And this must be what allows Anvika to manage the inevitable setbacks that come with any ambitious goal.
Absolutely. She isn't derailed by a big failure because she knows her foundation is built on hundreds of these tiny successes, these hundreds of specific corrections. She trusts the architecture.
So for you, the learner, this should really be the blueprint for managing information overload. If you look at an entire field of study, a new programming language, a complex historical period, it just feels impossible.
It's completely overwhelming.
But Anvika's metrics tell you not to worry about the whole mountain. Just focus on that one high-quality focused hour. Or just ensuring that single concept you tackled today is understood clearly.
And truly corrected if you stumbled, that microfocus is the psychological anti-overwhelm tool. It respects the limits of our attention while maximizing the quality of the integration,
So you're optimizing for depth over superficial breadth.
which, according to the source, is the true pathway to lasting knowledge.
Okay, so now what's surprising is that this foundational philosophy, which we've applied to intellectual effort, also extends into a seemingly different domain, financial awareness.
It seems different, but it's not.
The text makes a point that Anvika understood the importance of money even before she had any significant income.
And this shift isn't arbitrary at all. It ties directly back to that core idea of respecting effort as a resource.
Okay, connect those dots for me.
The source states it very clearly. Her financial discipline began with awareness, not income. For Anvika, money wasn't just currency, it was crystallized time. It was focused energy.
Ah, so she wasn't counting pennies out of a sense of scarcity. She was observing the flow of resources out of respect for the effort it took to generate them in the first place.
Exactly. The text highlights that waste made her uncomfortable. And this discomfort, it's not a moral judgment, it's a cognitive one.
Right.
If you respect the value of one focused hour of study, you have to also respect the resource that hour generated, whether that's knowledge or income. Wasting either is a failure of discipline.
That reframes the entire concept of discipline. It's not about self-restriction. It's about value management.
Yes.
So if we connect this back to learning, it means managing resources like your attention and your time with the same precision Anvika managed money.
It creates a kind of unified theory of resource management. If you're sloppy with your spending, you're probably sloppy with your time and attention too. If you let your resources just drain away into non-productive channels, you are depleting the very foundation that supports your knowledge acquisition.
And the source suggests this resource awareness actually helps people once they do achieve success. People who respect the effort, even the small beginnings, they handled success better. Why? What is that mechanism?
Well, success, especially sudden success, is often incredibly disorienting. It brings pressure, visibility, a whole new set of resource demands.
Of course.
And if you achieve massive success without a foundational understanding of the slow, grinding effort it took to earn it, you're likely to become detached from the process.
They lose their ballast.
Precisely. The text says those who respected effort remain grounded and patient, even under the pressure of success. If you built your house brick by brick, you know exactly which mortar holds it all together.
But if it just appeared magically overnight?
You might not know how to fix a leaky roof.
Yeah.
The foundational effort acts as this internal stability. It prepares your character for the inevitable turbulence that comes with more visibility, more reward.
This all takes us to the ultimate synthesis of her strategic choice. The text says Anvika chose foundations over recognition.
And that just summarizes her life strategy perfectly.
It really does. She prioritized the internal structure, knowing that the external validation, it might follow, but that it would ultimately be secondary.
It's the profound realization that chasing applause is a fundamentally ephemeral strategy. The applause fades almost immediately.
Right.
But the infrastructure you build, the resilience, the clear understanding of concepts, the financial awareness, all those corrected mistakes, that lasts.
So when we pull together the three core pillars of this entire architecture, they really are a guide for how to structure long-term growth, whether that's in a professional field or in personal development.
Let's recap them. Lesson 1, which is driven by the beginning of her journey. Small beginnings deserve respect.
Simple as that.
If you undervalue those entry points, you cut off the path to the cumulative power of compounding effort.
Okay. And lesson 2, which is derived from her specific measurement system, consistency builds lasting success.
It's the repetition of the small, focused effort that transforms input into integral strength. It's not magic, it's just math.
And lesson 3, the final strategic choice.
Foundations matter more than applause. This is the choice between durability and fleeting validation. It's the wisdom that the quiet work, when no one is watching, is the only work that truly compounds.
The source material leaves us with that powerful summary that really anchors this whole deep dive. Applause fades, but strong foundations last.
I mean, that says it all.
It does. So what does this all mean for you, the learner? It means that the shortcut to success isn't finding a way to skip steps. It's ensuring every single step you take is of the highest quality and consistently applied.
The true long-term reward comes not from any external cheerleading, but from the quiet, reliable work you put in when the cameras are off.
That integrity of effort, built from the ground up through those one-hour focused studies and one mistake corrections.
That is the most powerful resource you can possess. It builds a competency that cannot be undermined by external forces or the inevitable volatility of life. It's the foundation you can always fall back on.
And as we conclude this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought, directly inspired by Anvika's commitment to the quiet work. If big dreams begin quietly, what overlooked small effort, that focused hour, that corrected mistake, that tiny daily ritual, are you currently prioritizing that will eventually create lasting strength, long after the applause has faded?
So to think about.
Take a moment to truly reflect on the architecture of your own foundations. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.